Welcome back, everybody, to Bread Theory. I'm your host, Zach, and we are going to continue on with Tears of the Kingdom. Dan is off this week. He's on vacation. And between grad school and the school I teach at, I have no energy to put anything else together, so we're just gonna game. So last time we were together, we had just unlocked one of the great fairies, and we're gonna see what we can upgrade. I always like the great fairies. It's a fun time. It's about time I get some new gear. Book of Infant, yes, definitely upload this as much as possible. Kind of wish there was ways to do multiple levels at once, because it's a little tedious. You go through the whole animation each time. It's definitely worth it in the long run, but it takes a while. Yep. Enhance away. We're gonna keep on keeping on. Looks like we're gonna have to unlock some more fairies in order to get the full set. But it's about time. My armor has been quite lacking. Do I feel like sharing anywhere today? Probably not. I think we're just gonna keep it chill. You know what? Actually, no. I take that back. We'll share somewhere on Facebook. See if we can't get some more people interested in the stream. So right now I'm going to share from Left Single Boost TV. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do. We're a creator collective. And it is one of the places that I stream from. Let's see where we can share to. We do Leftist Gaming Club. Left signal boost and left pod posting just to boost the numbers on that. For we are many. That is the difficult thing when you join so many groups. It's hard to keep track of which ones are still active and which ones not so much. These things tend to go in cycles on Facebook. But I managed to keep my groups going. Although even still, I've kept one of my groups. I've kept Left Single Boost going pretty well. But left pod posting, I admit I have neglected a bit. Probably doing in part because I've kind of given up on the idea of posting any of these streams as podcasts. It was too much money to invest. Just to actually get something like Podbean where they actually distribute it well. You get on all the platforms really easily. It wasn't terrible, but it was like just under $20 a month, something like that. And I just haven't felt like investing in that. And I just haven't really... Oh, we can do the Highland Trousers again. Haven't really felt like even following many podcasts anymore. It used to be a big thing for me back when I would do deliveries all the time. That's like just wall-to-wall podcasts. It's a really great resource for you have some job where you don't have to listen to what's going on constantly. Yeah, I used to follow dozens and dozens of podcasts. And now I don't even know what's current with that. It's been a while, really, since I checked in. There were some great ones, though. Like, if you like hearing more clear-eyed histories of some places that are generally not thought of very highly by America, like Iraq and the war that we induced there, and also Cuba and all the meddling we've done there. Blowback. There's no better one than that. That was such a great podcast. And I hope they're still going, but I haven't checked in a while. It's just not time anymore. So I know this is not the most exciting time, but it is important work to get this stuff up to snuff. We need fireproof lizards. That's what we're missing for that. I'll be able to enhance 2 of my pieces of Zora armor. That'd be good. I use this quite a bit. So let's see what's going on. Oh, I used all my high roll bass. Oh, wow. So I finally got to the left-right spectrum with my class. Very excited about that. I could not find honest accounts of different political theories or ideologies. I mean, they would define with like feudalism or monarchy more precisely. But it seems to be the trend in social studies education to say there's, it's either 3 or 4 types of government, and like that's it. So you have monarchy, you have and they always make sure to say, oh, well, there's also constitutional monarchy, and they don't really have power, they're just figureheads. Of course, they get a lot of money just for being monarchs, but that's beside the point, I guess. Monarchy, and there's oligarchy, and they tend to lump in every socialist country in history into the oligarchy camp, with only brief explanations why. And then there's, of course, democracy, and then a little bit, and all the fanfare for democracy. Because we have an election system. And so that, of course, makes it a free and fair democracy. Let alone the fact that we don't rank very high in the elections category because of all the influence that money has. And that's really it. We have a form of democracy. And I'm not just saying representative republic, that is a form of democracy. And in fact, these socialist nations conceived of themselves as having the same sort of structure. It's just instead of for the benefit of private owners, private owning class, the separate owning class, it was supposed to be benefit of everybody. Benefit of the workers. That never gets discussed in social studies textbooks at all. So then there's that, and then there's autocracy, and sometimes leftist governments get put into autocracy. But of course, the main takeaway is supposed to be democracy is the best. We live in democracy. We live in the best of all possible worlds, even though we clearly don't. We live in what is known as bourgeois democracy, and we're definitely not going to get into that with my kids. But we will look at what socialism is supposed to be. We will put them in the proper place of also representative democracy until you get up to anarchism, which tends to be more pure or direct democracy. And we'll talk about that. But then we will also say, a lot of times they tend to drift rightward as they progress along in time. And so, like, we will mention USSR ended up being, kind of a mix. You couldn't really call it fully capitalist. You couldn't really call it fully socialist. You couldn't say that it was a total democracy. There definitely was people that were excluded from the decision-making process. So I think we're going to kind of land at, we are going to kind of land at it being state socialism, which is kind of a nebulous area. So you have some elements of socialism, you have some elements of capitalism, but basically there are two distinct classes. And although there is mobility in theory between the two, it is difficult to do so. And basically the state takes over the role of that private business tends to hold. They become the owner. I personally think that's still better than what we got. I would prefer. I mean, you cannot elect or unelect capitalist owners. Even if you have stocks in their companies, you're never going to be the majority shareholder of any major company. It's just beyond the reach of most people. And even if you were, they still have a fiduciary responsibility to make profit. So you still have the problem of the profit motive to deal with. But that part will be left out, of course, because that's opinion, and I really want the kids to form their own opinion. I just want them to have accurate information. Don't want socialism to be completely glossed over. I don't want those governments to be completely discarded as autocratic or what have you. Because they're not. I mean, Cuba, yes, there was a dictator, and for the first round it was hereditary. That particular position was out of reach of everyone. So you could say that the Castro family was in their own class. That has changed now, though. It is finally gone to, I can't think of his name at the moment, but someone who was not part of the family. He's now in the top position, but even still he is part of he's just the leader of the Council of Executives. But there are elections in Cuba. They're free and open. They're better than our elections by many accounts. Candidates are not allowed to have a party affiliation. You just have to run on your own merits. And then severely limited in the amount of money they can spend, and you can't advertise. I've heard this now from many people, that it's quite striking. You go to Cuba and there's just no ads. It's just one thing that hits you immediately is there are just no ads because they don't want that sort of influence. Rightly so. Cuba, they've gone through land reform, so much more common for farmers to own the land that they farm, especially since, comparing it to before the Cuban Revolution. So they've done land reform. They've gotten rid of homelessness. The cities have guaranteed housing, guaranteed medical. So by many accounts, especially for as isolated as they have been by the U.S., they're doing pretty well for a small island nation. So to just be like, oh, well, autocracy. It's a little reductive. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how China is, for the most part, state capitalist as well, but even they have much higher prevalence of worker-owned cooperatives. But clearly they are not as far left as they were during Mao's time. Mao even led a second cultural revolution against the powers that entrenched themselves. So they drifted right. It seems a lot of countries end up doing that. Learn all that, they'll get a clear-eyed idea of what fascism is all about, too. Also important to not just gloss over and say, well, they're bad because, they're evil. Well, sure. They slaughtered a bunch of people for racist reasons. There's no denying that. But they were bad for many more reasons than that. Not least of which was the form of government that they chose, which was fascism. Which, if you're going to talk about oligarchy, pretty big example of that. Business and government colluding against the workers for their own ends. But that's the part that I certainly never learned about when I was in school, and I guess all of this has just been a very long-winded way of saying that I've been very frustrated with the way that American social studies curriculum deals with forms of government. They want to put it into 3 or 4 categories, and the way they frame it is always so, our form of democracy is the best of all possible worlds, it's unquestionably good, we all get a vote. Let's set aside that was not true for all of us until Voting Rights Act. It might have even been later than that, but we're talking about almost 1970. So, you could call us a democracy since then, but also money has become more and more involved in putting its thumb on the scale, especially since Citizens United. So you're like, yay, rah, democracy, people choose, blah, blah, blah. And then we also have the Senate and the Electoral College. And again, I want my students to learn about these things, but to form their own opinion. But they can't have an informed opinion if they're just like, well, like even the curriculum I was telling them today talked about the Electoral College and how some people want to do away with it, but other people think it wouldn't be as good for rural people. It's like, yeah, that is an argument that people use, or more like an excuse. Let's be real. It's an excuse people use to keep the Electoral College. Oh, it wouldn't be fair to the rural states. Well, how about all of the people that live in states that always go the opposite of the way they vote? How about all the Republican voters in California whose vote has not mattered at all in the presidential election since Ronald Reagan, I believe? How about all the people that live, the Republican voters in New York State? I think it's been even longer since their vote has mattered. How about all the people that live in Alabama who vote Democrat and their vote has never mattered in a presidential election since who knows when? Probably since the parties started switching their rhetoric right around the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act and all that sort of thing. So those people, they just shouldn't count? Ever? Really, no wonder the U.S. has such a low voter turnout. If you live in a state that always goes one way and it's not your way, what reason do you have to show up? And then they say, oh, well, it would take a constitutional amendment to do away with the Electoral College. No, it actually wouldn't. Actually would not take a constitutional amendment to effectively route around the Electoral College. All it would take is for every state, you don't even have to apportion your votes. You don't have to worry about districting or anything like that. If every state passed it might take a state constitutional amendment, and I'm sure it varies state to state, but an amendment or a law that would say that all of their electors go to whoever wins the popular vote, well then by de facto, all the states would end up sending their electors to whoever won the popular vote. There, that's the end of the Electoral College and its effectiveness. No national constitutional amendment required. Rural people. How about rural people in New York? How about rural people in California or Hawaii? And, saying that all rural people vote as a bloc is ridiculous as well. Even historically, West Virginia broke away from Virginia because it didn't want to be part of the Confederacy. That's a pretty rural state. One of the most rural states. I think I'm almost at the end of enhancement. Hopefully we're actually going to be able to see this when we... Oh boy, we still apparently have more. Hopefully we'll be able to feel these effects once I'm done here. But I'm also going to teach kids about things like that I never learned in high school either. Just things that exist, ranked choice voting, instant runoff voting, which are basically the same thing. Proportional representation. We will learn how parliamentary elections go and how they're different from ours. We will learn about direct democracy. Geez. I will at least raise the question, with modern technology and security, might it be possible for people to vote directly on more things more often? I'm not saying that they're going to end up going for it, but at least they'll have an idea in their head that they can think about. It's not just, hey, kids. It's like, oh, God, there's this... I have these videos that I tend to play at the end of class just to have a little break. And it's just a certain set so that I know, a lot of autistic kids like playing the same video every day, and that's fine. There's one that I found it's when I was doing U.S. geography for them, and it's just like it names all the 50 states. But the chorus is, I'm proud to live and play in the USA, home of the land, and, home of the free and the brave, or whatever, however they say it. And it's just so obnoxious. It's got nothing to do with naming 50 states. He just threw that in there. His American flag shirt. I hate every time the kids pick that, but I'm not going to deny them what they want. And also if it helps them learn the states, then who am I to judge? Oh, there's this other one. Any teacher who uses multimedia in their lessons will probably be familiar with. It's called IKR. I don't know. It's this guy. Somehow the only guy on YouTube that sings about certain things, like He gets really obscure with it too. There's like, every county of Texas, let's sing about it. And he comes up with the most awkward rhymes. And he's so incredibly tone deaf. And it's funny, but, you know, again, if it's effective to have all the states of the United States sing at you so that you remember them, why not? Why not? I kind of feel dumb wasting my star pieces on this stuff. Because I'm never, this is all just for show, basically. There's no boost to this. I'm not going to waste my time and energy on that. We want Mighty Thistle. We need Lionel parts. Fair enough. Another Dueling Peaks. Off in Necluda. Wouldn't be in this. No, I don't think it's in the same. I don't think she's in the same spot as Breath of the Wild. We're gonna find out though. I'm sure I've come across her at this point. There's Dueling Peaks. Stable. There's Great Fairy Fountain. And the other one is up in Hebra, I believe. Is that Hebra? The mountains? I don't know. The Ruto lands, anyway. So anyway. My students will have a wider variety or a wider range of knowledge than I ever had growing up. And hopefully it will serve them. You know, I expect most of them are going to end up believing whatever their parents believe. It's just how things tend to go. Nothing wrong with that. People that you come to trust, yeah, you should consider their opinions more. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But at least when they encounter these ideas in the wild, they won't have such mind-numbing, brain-dead reactions. Oh my god, socialism? You mean everyone gets to be equally poor? Oh my god, I hate how propagandized the US is. And I was too. I completely discarded all of leftism until I was in college. And it was because it's always painted as, at best, a good idea, but a little naive. Because people are evil and they'll seize power, and it always happens this way every time. Same god-awful argument I hear people using all the time on the internet. So, you know, take that for what it will, you will, but it's failed every time it's been tried. Like, never get drawn into that argument. There's absolutely no way of winning that, because they will either just end up saying you're straight up lying, if you bring up counter examples, or how Cubans have anything better than us, or any of these things. Or you'll get into quibbling about, well, was this socialism? Was that technically socialism? It's actually more like this. And it's just like, you will never win that argument. So you say, you have to bring it to, well, what do you want? What are we talking about that we want? We want the workers to own the means of production, whether that's a worker-owned cooperative, and that just becomes the norm, or whether we, you know, get to the point where we can outlaw private means of production. But even then, the definitions of things have been so warped towards, you know, knee-jerk defenses of capitalism that it's hard to even have that conversation. Because if you talk about private property, they think that you're going to come take their house. And it's like, no, that's not what that means. There's a specific meaning that socialists have behind private property, and that's people that own businesses, mines, you know, forests even. Um, it is things that are used to generate profit. And even that, they think, oh, profit is anytime you make more money than you take in. It's revenue minus expenses. That's your profit. Well, it's only part of the picture, because those expenses include worker compensation. We are an expense in a business person's eyes. And also, it is still excess money that has been generated by the efforts of the workers, that is then unilaterally or dictatorially even being decided on how it is disposed of, usually lining the pockets of the people that own. Okay, so what do I got to do for this one? I wasn't paying attention. Blessing of clothing enhancement that I don't trust. So, son of a drum. So I gotta go find this drummer. Let's figure out where that is in our adventure log. Sighting, beckoning woman, beast of the princess, missing farm tools. Eerie voice. Fill rooms, Great Sky Island. Not any of those. We have no shrine quests open. Horse Guardians, Dorito. Summerstone. No, that's not it. This is also Colossal Fossils and the Princess. So we gotta look for Milpa during the moon. Diamonds. We gotta turn that quest in. Throne room in Hyrule Castle. I swear there was one. Mention a drum. That is at least a stable owner's quest. Why is it not part of my quest log? That is annoying. Beast, missing farm tools. Alright, let's look at this one. Stables rack. Alright, well, let's go over there. I don't know about this particular quest. So we are going to what? Riverside Stable? Wetland Stable. Alright. Talking to someone there. We'll see. Drumming, I swear. Oh no, I think it was someone at Highland Stable. We mentioned drumming. Where did he say it was from though? Maybe just be one that I look up. Who knows? Let's see if we can find the right person to talk to. Now, since I found that whole intricate network of tunnels. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that break. Alright, not much down here. Let's see. A lot of cuckoos around here. I may just have to talk to Penn again to figure out who I'm supposed to talk to. Ooh, I think I have a beetle for beetle. See if I have anything worth selling. Probably have a million bright bloom seeds again. Wow, 13 diamonds, nice. Not much worth it there. Zonite's too important. Goblin guts. Can't sell any monster parts right now. Not until I get a bunch of upgrades. It's always the one you sold because like, oh, I'm never going to use these ones again. So unless I have just an astronomical amount. X. Got lots of choo-choo jelly. Yay! 549. Yeah, I can sell a few. I do like somewhere around 100. I think that's gonna be it. Let's see what he's got. Oh, I was interested in arrows. Wow! Wow! Yay! Hot-footed frog. do I have in inventory? It usually tells me how much I have, I thought. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah. No reason not to take all these. Butterflies are hard to find. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take them all. Beetle's pretty cool. That'd be a good Halloween costume. Get a giant sack of stuff and shove it full of sheets. Don't need to be really breaking her back like Beetle. Alright, I don't know what to do about this one. The raft, okay. Israel looks over the raft. Sounds good. Floret Sandbar. The name is Sandbars now, I guess. Alright, well, there is our mission. Let's see what we got. Hey, steer stick, off to a good start. We have one fan. Looks like this may be our only fan. Yeah, only fan. And what we have is like an energy container. What are you? You are an energy container. Fast moving river, I must say. I like it. Alright. I like that there's more quests like this in this game than there was in Breath of the Wild. Oh, you got a little chunk of log to sit on. Isn't that nice? Maybe we don't need to have a big two-handed weapon. Look out, ducks. Noticing there's no energy meter with this. Oh, of course, because I haven't used up the extra power cell. That's fine. Dedoy. Lots of ducks in this river. Just somehow holding their place. I'm not going to question it too hard. Straight down river. Awesome. It really is a beautiful world they've created. Near what dock? Stop near the dock. I see. Will do, Mr. Man. Strange getting these whispers on Twitch, but it always says that they've blocked whispers. Users turned on block whispers. Why would you whisper to me? Very weird. There's something coming at us. Uh-oh. Oh, it's Pen. Oh yeah, it's the lady who has to protect all the flowers around the shrine. That's nice. They went missing. Oh no. Mm-hmm. up the creek without a paddle, even though down the creek, yeah.
Oh.
So is this a gardening sub-quest, or are we just done with this now? The froggies. Ah, slip resistance. Cool.
Oh.
That'll be great. There's so many armor sets in this game. It's amazing. Alright, so there's the missing farm tools complete. Doesn't solve about where that girl's brothers went, though. Oh, that's so nice.
Wow.
Cool. Just gonna hang out and garden together, I guess. Wonder what happens if I take a plant. No, apparently nothing. Don't mind me, I'm just picking your flowers you work so hard to grow. Oh, what is this? Worm Safina. Have I not found that in this game? That's bizarre. Mighty Thistle, I definitely need those. Just about everything grows here. Cool, Safina. Even a Sunderlion? That's pretty rare. Ground. Cool. Well, as a fellow gardener, I'm here for it. Nice area. Alright, I guess that's it for that quest, huh? That's missing farm tools sorted. Eerie voice. Let's go to Highland Stable. Company Pennant Knight. Sounds good. That ought to work. Highland Stable, where are you? Outskirts Stable. Here's Highland Stable. Oh, I keep forgetting about these travel medallions. Haven't needed them yet, though. Alright, I probably need to cook a bunch of stuff. I'm low as low can be. Let's spend a little time. I'm gonna drop this, and we're gonna drop what? Topaz rod. Haven't needed our opal rod in quite a bit, but once we go back to the depths, we certainly will. There's my soldier's claymore. Soup ladle. And stupid shield. Probably better off pilot anyway. Alright. Let's equip our soup ladle. Oh, probably not the best idea. Alright, let's make some stuff. Let's see. I love that there are recipes now. So much easier than the last game. That's a good one to use. That's 9 hearts. And that uses herbs. We're trying to avoid using herbs. So we'll just do that. Let's see what else we can make. Have I not used this in any recipes? Okay. So big hearty radish. We're going to make some big hearty thing. By type. So what we need. Looking for hearty stuff, not mighty. Hearty truffle. Ooh. A big hearty truffle. Fence. What else do we got? Hearty bass. I think that's gonna be it. Hearty mushroom skewer. Oh, plus 12. Nice. That was unfortunately our only big hearty radish. We have to make something different. Ah, that sounds good. Was that a good one that I got? Ooh, extra. Let's see what kind of recipes we got. skip that then. I've not made any recipes of the fire fruit. Interesting. Pretty sure I've done recipes of this one. We'll do one round of that. And do like the hardy ones. Full recovery is quite useful. That's a good one too. What do we combine this with? Let's do raw prime meat. Bird egg, some butter. Let's just see what this comes up with. Hearty meat and mushroom skewer. Works for me. Lots of stuff I've done with butter. I haven't found glow to be that useful of a side dish, or a side effect, not dish. Gotta even be careful about what foods I use. I hate that. I could upgrade everything now. Let's see, Murad. Cane sugar? Let's see what this does. That's probably going to be awful. I was wrong. Hearty steamed mushroom. Fair enough. Doesn't look like you can get much better than full recovery +3. Let's do it. How are we looking in the foods department now? Yeah, that's good for now. Let's sit by the fire until night. And then we talk to Pen.
Oh.
Furrow Plain to the northwest. Oh, okay.
Hi.
Probably put on better weapon than that. There we go. Doesn't take much to spook Pen, does it? Ah, it's down the well. Eva arms. Interesting.
Oh?
Seek the storm, seek the storm.
Ah?
You're not, you will stay well.
Han, han, han. Han, han,
Weapons get thrown on the well.
Ah.
Oh man. That's funny.
Oi! To. Eh? Ah!
Nice.
Oh! Sapao!
No gear this time. I'm gonna see what those weapons are all about. Oh, of course they're all bigger than that. Wait, oh, could that be the spot that we're looking for? Let's check the adventure log. A missing spot. Nope. I don't know who decides what is what. Spotting spot. Lookout landing. Beige double horse. Spot runaway. Okay. So probably not his spot. I'd say that's more. Well, I mean, part of it is beige. Devil, I don't know. That's probably not it, though. Okay, so there's another quest down. What are we gonna do now? Skeleton horse. I don't know why it's so hard to find an eagle bow. Oh wait, no, it wasn't great. Yeah, swallow bow. For some reason, that's hard to find. Sword Spear also incredibly hard to find. I've looked everywhere in the depths. Well, I suppose maybe these things are in the Sky Islands. That's my least explored, I would say, of areas. Let's go finish up this quest, because at least we know we can do that. I'm just going to talk to someone in Zoro's domain. back on the Great Fairy quest after that. I may just have to look up a hint though to find that drummer. I suppose I could also try the other Great Fairy that I haven't looked at yet. Be a possibility. There's one quest way back when where I found a bunch of musicians. So, maybe that's all I need.
Oh. Ah. Ah.
Oh.
Well, that's nice.
Oh. Ah.
Alright, that one's done. Alright. Princess Milpa in the Moonlight. That's not the Princess Milpa statue. Was it up on this area? I guess Milpa Court. See if we can figure out that one real quick, as long as we're over here. So statue, the one at the top of the steps, if I'm not mistaken. Get you, crab. Thanks for the following. Horabolawa. Horabolawa. Hope you're having a good night. Just so you're aware. I suppose you are now if you've tried to comment. I do have that on a cooldown for new followers. And that's just to keep patrols away. And it's actually worked really well. Okay, so it looks like she is holding the light scale trident. So I know it can be annoying, but it is just the policy we have here. Okay. Guess I'm missing something about that. Moonlit Princess. Let's go to that one. Holding lights of trident in the light of the moon. Sure. Okay, so we just gotcha. All we gotta do is take a photo then, I'm assuming. Let's do just that. Very cool. And back we go. Not entirely sure which would even be faster. Jumping off a cliff or warping, but whatever. Zora's Domain, always my favorite in these games. Even the old N64 ones. So cool. I love their style of architecture. Alright, yep, light scale trident, take a look. Why can't I find a Zora spear though? Yeah, I was really hoping he was gonna give me one. Alright, we are cleaning up a lot of the adventure log though, in a pretty short amount of time. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Iron treasure chest containing his father's precious blue shirt. Oh yeah, well, any chance to go back to whoops. Lurlin Village. I think that's the closest one. Lurlin Village. You know, if I were to encounter a land like this in real life, I would definitely pick Lurlin Village to settle down. As beautiful as Zora's Domain is, nothing like being on the coast. Plentiful fish and seafood. Nice people, like, what's not to love? So we're looking for a chest. Kind of fun doing all these weird little side quests. Tuned in early and you saw all this, all the time I spent just gabbing and enhancing my armor, then probably this is a good payoff for you. We're probably gonna have to make a boat of some kind. Oh boy. I'm just not the best. We were able to pick up this entire ship? That's a little bizarre. Oh, that's almost certainly one of these chests, I bet is it. Cool. Alright. Always gonna get the porgy. I hate, you know, I'm glad that they're grateful. glad they're grateful, but I feel bad at some point. Taking all their stuff. This was one of the best missions, though, I gotta say. Most satisfying result. Freeing an entire village? Hell yeah. When I would play The Witcher 3, that was always one of my favorite things to stumble upon, was a village that needed freeing. Let's see what we got. Oh, there's a sword out there, too. Rusty Claymore. Yeah, village can take that. Well, how much you want to bet it's the one that I actually have to build a boat to go out to? Blue rupee. I like how they hint at it though. It is clever. What are y'all doing over here? Oh, heck yeah. More building? Oh. Ooh. Man, all this sounds really cool. Floating hotel. I already have a hotel anyway. Underwater tours would be good. Host a water rally would really bring in a lot of people. I'm gonna go with that one. Although underwater tours would be pretty good. Hopefully I get to do all three of them. Man, now I think I've picked the wrong one. Underwater tours might be better. Race, likely it's not gonna be anything really cool like gear or something. Oh boy, I'm just hitting all the wrong buttons today. Ooh, it's just about that time too. Yes! Island lobster shirt. Awesome. Not gonna update my quest log though. That's kinda weak. Kinda weak. Love steel drums too, so like definitely get along with the music culture here. was in this chest? Oh, I don't need to steal your money, dudes. Sorry. You keep your fish. No, I guess. I don't know. Evan appears to be going to bed. Hopefully I can catch this person before that time. Is it you? No, it's you. You smell. You must really smell like lobster. Well, that's a nice way to end. I will do some quick research about getting the other fairies. Maybe I'll do the armor upgrading off camera since it's a little tedious. Then again, who knows, maybe the quest is fun itself. Always the give and take. Oh, I don't need an Island Lobster shirt. I mean, that's really nice. Heat resistance, huh? How much people are worried about the wrong shirt? What about all that stuff about it being in a chest and the, you know, the pirates coming and all that? I don't know. That's weird. Aw, that's sweet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the lobster shirt, to be honest. There's not an armor set. There's so many armor sets. There's gonna be like lobster shorts and lobster flip-flops or something like that. Who really knows? I don't really need any of that. Well, let's try out the new shirt before we go. Lobster shirt. Looks nice. It's really weird. Going for an island look, I guess. Something breezy. There we go. That's not a bad look. Yeah. I really wonder if there's a whole lobster set. Something tells me no, but you never know with this game. A lot of random stuff. Oh, see, that's kind of a nice ensemble. Looks like you're a real pirate, right? That's funny. Very, very funny. Oh yeah, we haven't tried out the froggy shirt either. Ooh, that does look very frog-like. I like it. Nice. That will come in handy, because man, I am so sick of slipping. Alright, well, let's figure out what we are doing next. Not tonight, but next time, I should say. What do we want to do? Do something simple like that, I suppose. Let's do that. Oh, I don't think it's that hot, do you?
Yes.
Okay, well, I will put on the air for you.
Oh, it's not good.
Okay. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for joining. And I will see you on Sunday. We'll have more adventures in Tears of the Kingdom. Till then, have a good night. See you all later.